Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, Tzu Chi volunteers from around the globe are returning to Taiwan to take part in the first overseas training workshop. To increase Taiwan's food self-sufficiency rate, the government is encouraging young farmers to return home to grow crops on rented lands. And in our regular look on Taiwan's unique traits, we learn the work of a load controller at Taoyuan International Airport. First up in Taiwan, the 2012 Overseas Tzu Chi Volunteers Training Workshop officially began yesterday, November 22nd, at the Tzu Chi Santong Grounds and Tzu Chi Banqiao Grounds, with volunteers from 11 countries taking part. As the hosting country of the seminar, volunteers at the Tzu Chi Santong Grounds did their best to make their guests feel at home.
Inside the kitchen, Tzu Chi volunteers are busy cooking delicious vegetarian dishes as the participants of the 2012 Overseas Tzu Chi Volunteers Training Seminar will arrive very soon.
The participants will arrive around 4 p.m. From past experience, we know that they often arrive a little bit early. Therefore, we want to make sure the administration booth is ready for them to sign in and that dinner will be ready after the participants meet their team leaders.
The volunteers also thoughtfully prepare volunteer uniforms for the trainees. A tailored team is also on scene in case the trainees require any adjustment.
A tailored team will be here for both of the volunteer training workshops. If their pants are too long, we will be able to shorten it over there.
To make sure that overseas volunteers have a wonderful experience, volunteers not only set up their bedrooms with extra attentiveness, but also prepare extra blankets. Outside of the Tzu Chi Sanchong chapter, local volunteers decorate the entrance sign with recycled bottles.
These recycled bottles were brand new when I saw them at the Taipei International Flora exhibition. We took back around 20 boxes and our recycling volunteers kept telling me that they wanted to recycle them, and I said I can use them in the future. Finally, I can use them today.
To make sure the recycled bottles can withstand the heat and strong wind, the volunteers stabilize them with planks of wood. Inside the Tzu Chi Sanchong chapter, volunteers are busy sewing insoles, as many of the volunteers will be walking around during the volunteer training workshop. The cloth was provided by a kind man who came here to borrow a wheelchair.
During the volunteer training seminar, we need to walk up and down the stairs a lot to care for the trainees, and our feet will often be sore. But with these insoles, it won't be as painful.
Thanks to the volunteers, unused cloth and boxes of recycled bottles are giving a second lease of life.
In China, Tzu Chi volunteers are carrying out their initial survey for a winter aid distribution in Haikou City of Hainan Province. In the recent years, the economic and cultural situation in Haikou City has improved greatly. Yet for those living in remote villages, life is still difficult and many are in need of Tzu Chi's help.
With Tzu Chi volunteers' support, 89-year-old Grandma Feng slowly walks outside. She uses her smile to welcome the coming of the volunteers. Here at Meilan district of Haikou City, around 40% of the residents live under the poverty line. Many of them survive with government subsidies. 3 years ago, Xiaoying's parents died in a car accident, after which she was looked after by her grandma and aunt. Tzu Chi volunteer's care reminds Xiaoying of her mother's love, and she starts to cry in the arms of a volunteer.
Be strong, we will come back to visit you again.
the upcoming winter aid distribution, 10 city volunteers from Guangzhou took the flight to Haikou to survey sites for the aid distribution. They visited poor families with local volunteers and entrepreneurs who realized how fortunate they are after seeing those who are less fortunate.
Seeing people leading such impoverished lives makes me feel sad. I can't help but want to put in all my efforts in helping these people.
Just a hug with the elderly can make us happy. We don't need to earn 1 million, 10 million, or $100 million.
During the 2-day survey, the volunteers visit needy households in Meilan District and Jingjiang Town to better understand what residents need, as well as to bring them encouragement.
Every cloud has a silver lining. When the bitter is done, then comes the sweet. I hope your kid grows up in good health. You have to be filial to your mother, okay? Mom is great.
Here in Haikou, the winter may not be as cold as in the northern cities, yet with Tzu Chi volunteers' love and care, residents will feel even warmer.
Next, in Malaysia, the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter held 22 award ceremonies for new Shoot Scholarship recipients this month. Since organizing the first scholarship award ceremony here in 2008, Tzu Chi volunteers have continued to provide free health checks and other services to help Indian families.
Here at the Tamil Ladang Caulfield Primary School in Sungai Buloh, Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers are busy setting up tents and a stage for the New Shoot Scholarship Award ceremony.
Many scholarship recipients come from remote areas. Therefore, the site has to be on a main road. As for the Tamil Bukitara Primary School, it is too small to accommodate over 500 people.
The Tamil Ladang Caulfield Primary School is the only site in which the award ceremony was held outdoors. The abandoned residence hall nearby was once used to hold an award ceremony in 2008, as well as health clinics. Thanks to Tzu Chi's continuous care, many local volunteers were inspired to join Tzu Chi. Tamil Mani is one of them.
Leprosy home, the people who very sickness, but our Tzu Chi sisters go and harm them, humble them, give so our love to them, like a own brother, sister, like a own mother and father, like that. My heart very sad. After that, I go to follow the Tzu Chi sisters and brothers, go to our center. Then I take form, I sign, I be a volunteer member.
After the award ceremony, many teachers and parents signed up for a Tzu Chi membership to spread the love even one person further.
In order to increase Taiwan's food self-sufficiency rate, the government is encouraging farmers to grow crops on their now fallow land by renting it out to willing farmers. Besides the rent income, landowners will also receive a small amount of subsidy. Next, we meet a group of young farmers to see how they are doing their part in helping Taiwan maintain its food self-sufficiency rate.
Driving a spray machine, 33-year-old Ling Chengwei already is a rich man. When asked how he achieved this, he says it's because he didn't like school.
My elders told me that if I don't like school, then I would have to do hard labor like farm work.
Ling Chengwei of Hobi District, Tainan City, has been farming since he was in his teens. He now rents over 20 hectares of fallow land and not only plants rice, but also various grains.
We have to plant the right crops in the right region. If there's plenty of water, then we should plant rice. If there isn't, then grains are suitable.
This is Ling's forage cornfield, which helps reduce the need for animal feed imports.
I have about 30 hectares here. I should be able to produce 12,000 to 13,000 kilograms of forage corn.
Ling Chengwei's family originally owned only 3 hectares of land.
Through the farm bank, the farming association acted as a real estate agent.
30 hectares is about 36 soccer fields. A field this large takes more than just Ling Chengwei and his relatives to maintain. They also need a way to speed up production. Mechanized farming is how the younger generations are tending to farmlands now. From sowing, fertilizing to cultivating land, it is all mechanical now. This is the way to achieve the greatest potential yield. Relying on rental farmland, Ling has generated enough revenue to take care of his family.
The elder generation says that you will never go hungry as long as you are willing to work your farm.
Further down to the south of Hopi district of Tainan City, the view is vastly different. As water resources are limited here, farmers like Su Jianjun are planting other crops to make ends meet. Inside the cold storage room are red beans, peanuts and other grains. Outside the storage room, farm machines fill the area. This equipment helps Su Jianjun work his 80 hectares of land.
I think I'm pretty lucky in that there are improvements to how farming is done now. With air conditioning inside the machines, we stay cool and listen to music while working.
For those just starting out in the farming industry and are unable to afford expensive machinery, Su's suggestion is to start from contract farming.
You can take classes on farming, find techniques to help farm better crops, how to manage or sell products, and basically raise your worth. I think these are all the things the younger generation can do.
Some farmers rent out small plots of land to plant organic crops.
We are unable to participate in a farm bank program, so we have asked landowners to quote us a direct price, and if we can afford it, we will rent their farms.
Looking at this new generation of farmers, we see a ray of hope for the continuation of agricultural work in Taiwan's future.
In order to help Hurricane Sandy victims in the United States, Tzu Chi volunteer in Taipei's Neihu recently held a jewelry charity fair as a way to gather donations for the victims and to continue spreading the message of Tzu Chi in the U.S.
Amid Buddhist chanting, Tzu Chi volunteers slowly and reverently carry the donated jewelry into the building.
It is as the master says, those who donate will feel blessed and those who buy will feel a sense of purpose. This is a gathering of good intentions here, and I want to welcome all the bodhisattvas here today.
Today's charity jewelry fair is being held on behalf of the victims of Hurricane Sandy.
All of the jewelry here has been donated by many kind-hearted people. So in our eyes, this is not simply jewelry anymore, but Dharma vessels.
Soon the entire venue is filled with potential buyers, comparing and trying on the various pieces of jewelry for sale. Some are here to buy a gift for others. Some jokingly make excuses to buy a piece, but everyone knows it's all for a good cause.
This gives us a chance to help those in need and also spreads the Master's Dharma, thereby helping more bodhisattvas into the world.
Across the venue, volunteers announced that yet another person has bought an item for charity and thus joined in a cycle of great love.
Many of us probably have had the experience of traveling abroad, and some might be curious as to how our baggage is loaded onto the planes we are traveling on. In today's feature report on Taiwan's unique traits, we meet one load controller, Chen Ying, and see the hard work that goes into ensuring all cargo and baggage are loaded correctly and in time. Carriage follows another. All of these are the goods and luggage waiting to be loaded onto an aircraft. In fact, a load controller needs to first calculate the weight of all cargo and baggage before loading them.
We need to get an idea of how much cargo this flight is taking and the amount of passengers flying, to calculate how we can load the luggage and whether the front or the rear will be too heavy. When the plane takes off, if the bag is too heavy, it might cause a serious accident.
After a precise calculation, the load controller next double-checks the container number to ensure the right cargo has been loaded.
We have to stay alert at all times and pay attention to details when we are putting the load sheets together, as well as when we are checking the cargo and luggage.
Standing next to an airplane, Chen Ying communicates with other staff when adjustments are necessary.
We need to have a basic concept of space. So for example, if we have 200 pieces of luggage, we have to think, after we load all the cargo, will there be enough space to put the remaining 200 pieces of baggage?
It is important that an aircraft is in balance, as it not only maximizes the space capacity and also saves on fuel consumption.
If the bag has been piled up properly, we'll be able to load more cargo.
Apart from staying alert, Chen Ying is also under time pressure.
The load sheets need to be ready 15 minutes before takeoff, but we only receive the luggage information 30 minutes prior to the takeoff, so that means that we have exactly 15 minutes to make our calculations.
The roaring engine sounds and strong winds may be uncomfortable for many, yet for load controllers like Chen Ying, there's much more to endure. Chen not only puts on a hat and mask, but also has to stand under the sun for 40 to 50 minutes before a plane takes off, and is in charge of 6 to 7 flights a day.
In summer, it is really hot, and on the ramps, it may be over 40 degrees. And in raining weather, we have no choice but to put on raincoats and boots to carry out our duties. In winter, we have to endure the cold as we stand out there.
Despite the hardships, Chen Ying has come across many interesting things.
We get to see many luxury cars, and sometimes we come across animals. When the two animals are hostile to each other, for example, dogs and cats, we'll place them in different sections.
For load controller Chen Ying, seeing each flight takes off safely is what motivates her to continue on.
After we complete our task and come back to the office, where when we see the aircraft onto which we just loaded the baggage take off safely, that feels really good.
In Taiwan, we meet the winner of this year's Disabled Labor Award, Liu Wenyi, who works at the Tzu Humanitarian Center in Taipei. 9 years ago, Liu was diagnosed with third-stage colon cancer and wanted to end his own life. Luckily, he met Tzu and found the strength to go on.
Sincerely bowing in front of the portrait of Master Zheng Yan is Liu Wenyi, who has been working at the Tzu Humanitarian Center for 7 years. When thinking about Liu, his co-workers are reminded of his signature smile. However, 9 years ago, Liu Wenyi suffered from colon cancer and had to undergo a colostomy.
It is not that convenient. The feces will come out anytime, and I can't help it. I once felt so bad that I wanted to end my life.
After his surgery, Liu Wenyi has had to rely on fecal pouches and once thought of ending his life. Luckily, after working at the Tzu Humanitarian Center, he regained his self-confidence.
I'm very impressed by him because every night he needs to undergo colon therapy. Even during a typhoon day, we had to get up around 5 in the morning to work.
I live for work and I'm very happy. When you decide to live peacefully with the fecal pouches, you will be fine. It is only a change in where you remove the waste, not much different than other people.
After work, Liu also works as a music volunteer, and for his dedication and spirit, he was awarded the Disabled Labor Award.
I'm thankful to the Master for establishing Tzu so I can have this chance to receive this award. At work, I often share with others the Dharma taught by the Master, so I work with my co-workers with pleasure.
By changing their thought, these disabled laborers have become fighters, and they hope that through their examples, the public can be inspired to overcome other obstacles in their lives.
Buying a pair of glasses may be considered a luxury for impoverished families. To help those in need, the Zhanghua Parents Union Advisory Council invited 50 optometrists to provide free eye examinations and prescription classes for poor students in remote areas. To date, 300 students from low-income households have been seen and given prescription glasses.
For these impoverished families, a pair of glasses needs to last them for many years, even if their vision has worsened over the years. Especially in this economic downturn, for them having prescription glasses is considered a luxury.
We hope that students from low-income households will be given the opportunity to enhance the efficiency of their learning and stay abreast of their studies.
50 optometrists have joined in the cause to provide free prescription glasses for impoverished students. Among the many optometrists is Lu Zhizhong, who has provided thousands of spectacle frames free of charge.
There are many youngsters that live all the way in Alishan by themselves, so even with a prescription reading of -3 or 4, they have no one to take them to the optometrist. For 2 years now, we have been coming to Alishan to help.
The doctor shares experience and joys of helping impoverished students living in mountainous regions.
If we are able to help them improve their vision and better their studies, no matter the distance and regardless of the cost, it's a meaningful cause.
Being able to see better, each handwritten letter to the optometrists is filled with the heartfelt thanks from the children.
With over 850 volunteers gathered at the Tzu Santong grounds for this year's Global Volunteers Training Seminar, 45 kitchen volunteers from the Songsan district were mobilized to help prepare meals. Though most of the volunteers are over 70 years of age, all happily give what they can. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.